Yo, what it do? What is good? Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing well today on this Monday, August 4th, 2025, as we are back to hopefully get some wins today. What it do? What is good? Hello. Sound is good. Let's get ready, guys. Let's get ready. See if we can get some wins tonight. That is indeed the hope. Hope you all had a good weekend, safe weekend, humbling weekend, all of that. As we are, walking into a new week, first new Monday of the new month, and all of that. Work kicking my butt today. It's been kicking my butt more recently. But hey, it is what it is. Gonna just roll with the punches and, hope for the best for the rest of the year as far as work is concerned. And, just life in general. But with that, let's dive into the picks for today. I only have one ticket in. Well, technically I have two. One I did not post on Twitter. It's a team prop, 3-leg. And let me, I'm on my FanDuel right now. The hope is that, we can get some wins tonight. Pretty much I decided to go back to, as I'm going to be pushing for these, it definitely will be 3 legs, probably more than likely 4, and maybe the most is maybe a 5-leg. Trying to really hammer these type of picks for team props, because as you're really paying attention to the teams, weather has gotten much warmer, batters are heating up as far as home runs are concerned, blah, 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 blah. And, a lot of teams, or at least, 5 to 6 teams a night more recently have been scoring a lot of runs, say 7, 8, 9, 10 runs, 2 to 3 times a week, maybe 4 times a week. And you want to, push for that, because a lot of the pitchers that they're facing off are giving up a lot of runs too, or even just the bullpen in general. So I decided to go with the Marlins, the Mets, and the Brewers to get all of them to get 5 runs tonight. The only one that's at plus value is the Marlins at plus 126, while the Mets pick is a minus 108, and then the Brewers minus 102. Now, I put this ticket in back in just before 5 a.m. this morning, 4:51 a.m. to be more exact. Again, on FanDuel. Like I said, I didn't post this on my Twitter page, but it's a plus 761. Maybe if you put that in, you would get a better value. And as always, I always say, go follow me over on Twitter or X at Vortex46 for some of my picks. Most of my picks, definitely won't be all of them. Just because I'm trying to keep my Twitter condensed down to maybe just a couple to a few tickets. I used to post a lot of my tickets, sometimes even all of them type of thing. And I was just like, well, I don't want to do that. That's oversaturating my Twitter page. So, and darn it, my darn Twitter account doesn't want to pull up automatically when I did just not that long ago, just before I started streaming. Here we go. But the other ticket that I do have, that I did post, that is posted here on my Twitter page, is a pick that I put in for over on DraftKings. This is a 4-leg, 3+ HRR. Like I mentioned, the data looks great for all these batters. Here specifically, this is a plus 3,175. The hope is that this cashes for all 4 of these batters to get 3+ HRRs. That is the hope. And it's not working, but I'll just say it's Stowers, Castellanos, Warming, and Soto. All of them, if you're really looking at prop finder because I'll just try to go see if I can just switch back to prop finder. Because again, my laptop's decided it wants to be a stickler today. I would have started the stream roughly a half hour ago, but it literally took this long just to get, just to get here. Here's the ticket finally. So it's it's plus 30, 75. So this is the ticket here. So like I said, if you really look at the data, like Star Wars looks, technically Star Wars looks like one of the better batters to go yard again, to go back to back. I know it's been a while since he's done that. Warming, possibly he might go yard, but who knows for sure. But his data looks great for HRRs at least. And then there's hold on. One moment, because my laptop. There we go. So what does I say? Houston. I forgot the other off the top of my head. Houston, Nick. I thought it was Nick. And warming and one. So per the data, when we're really looking, again, as always, Star Wars, he's facing off against a righty. When he does, he's like green all across the board, right? Ramirez, he's half green, you know what I mean? Lopez is green. Hicks is mostly green. Even Jacob Marce, he's green, right? So you have some picks here, right? Currently for the Marlins, specifically, and then you look over here for the Astros. Altuve's green. Christian Walker and Diaz are half green, right? Sanchez is green. And then Pena, he's green. I took him the first day he came back or something like that. He did his thing, and then second game he didn't, or something like that, or whichever one it was. But again, like I said, Stowers, one of my main picks. Again, I may possibly take him for a home run tonight, because again, per his data on Prop Finder, he's actually looking great. So as you're looking at his data here, he's hit 3 home runs over the last 10 games. But again, personally, I feel like he can get 3 or more HRRs. Again, anytime he's mostly gotten 3. Anytime he has really gotten HRRs, he's facing off against Jason, who's actually pitches well against lefties and righties, but he's giving up more 2-baggers and 1 extra home run to lefties. Pitch mix, Stowers is mostly green against the pitch mix. He actually hits the changeup. He actually hits the sinker, which Jason throws the most between the two. And he actually hits the sweeper, which Jason. So that was just one of the things. Hard hit is 73%. Again, per his EV and stuff and all of that, his angle, distance, he's been getting under the ball, for the most part, more recently. And then you look at his splits. Basically, he's batting great at home, great at night. His OPSs are over 900. Now, his average for August is down. Why? Because he only has 3 hits out of 13 at bats. 2 of those hits are home runs. Slug is great, 692. OPS is still great, above 900. But his Mondays, it's still green, right? His OPS is still good. It's above 700. Just his slug is down. He still has 2 home runs. Still has 4 runs, 4 RBIs. He's been walked 3 times on a Monday. AL is great, 712 slug. Versus righties, he bats great, 300 average, 625 slug, 24 home runs, just above the 1.0 mark, 1.00 basically. So this is one of the things. And in batting second, his slug is down. He has 4 home runs batting second, but his slug is, his batting average is down, but his slug is still decent enough, and his OPS is above 740. So it's up to you if you want to take him for a home run. I just said, maybe he'll just go out here and go back to back and get 3 HRRs like he did back here at the end of July. So That's that one. Next up is Castellanos, because he's green. Harper's green. Schwarber's green, right? Now, Castellanos is a righty. Povich, my favorite team is the Baltimore O's. We suck, and we're going to suck even more because we just traded a lot of people away. But per his HRRs, look at this. Look how great he is, right? He's doing his thing. K pitches well against lefties and righties. And just like Stowers, Castellanos bats well against right-handers. And he's mostly green against the pitch mix. His line drive is 27%, which is great. Versus lefties, he's been getting under the ball. Splits. He bats well at home, well at night, right? Great in the month of August, 4 hits out of 11 at bats. Once again, OPS above the 1.0. He bats great on Mondays. 554 slug, 318 batting average, 893 OPS, great. Batting versus lefties, good enough, right? Green with a 804 OPS. Batting fifth, same thing, bats good enough with a 783 OPS. So I feel like he can definitely get and handle his business here. The only thing per the pitch mix that he's really struggling with, as far as you can look and see, is he's battling against the four seam. That's it. Everything else, the changeup, the curveball, he hits. So it's the other reason why I said, yeah, let me take Nick instead of Harper or Schwarber or whoever else. We can look at Soto next. He's green, basically it's kind of technically super green. He has basically the best stats outside of the hard hit, because Vientos has the highest hard hit, which is 67%. But Soto, again, per the ticket, he only had 2 games out of the last 10. But I always say, as long as you had 2 or more, that still gives me potential of me taking you per the pick. He actually is 0-1 against Slade, but he hits righties, right? He hits righties well. Pitch mix, mostly green for the most part. He's hitting the four seam. He's hitting the changeup, the slider he's hitting. So he's right there. His pull and hard hit is the same, 67%. His line drive is great, 40%. So this is why I'm saying you could possibly even take him for, say, even maybe total bases, even though his total bases is down. But it's one of those things where you could possibly still take him for even a home run tonight. His EV is mostly up. He's been still sort of kind of getting under the ball, but he was getting more under it back in July, like mid-July, basically, right? But per his splits, 50-50 at home. He's doing well at night. He's struggling on August with only 3 hits and 13 at-bats. He's 50-50 on Mondays. Still, his OPS is good, pushing 800. Technically, you can round that. Could still technically say 800. Versus righties, is batting great. 533 slug with a 933 OPS. And then when he bats third, his average is down, but his slug is up with an 895 OPS. So I personally said I'm just going to go ahead and take one for that one. And the last batter was Warming. Burner Bell. Young man has still been handling business. He's still getting, for the most part, anytime he does get HRs, he's getting 3. He's getting 3 or he's getting above 3 over the last 10. Young man has been doing his business. Rookie's been handling business. He bats well against lefties, right? He bats better against righties, but he's still batting great against lefties. Now, the only thing is that this is a challenge per the pitch mix. And I'm taking a chance because he's also facing off against Eric here, who's a lefty. He still allows hits, right? But he's still getting strikeouts. So this is a risky pick for me, right? Again, he's facing off against a righty that he struggles mostly against, right? That's the other reason why I took it. Line drive is non-existent. Like, non-existent. Fly ball is up, though. And his 3 matchups against lefties, again, this is a risk, is that he was getting under the ball, but he didn't do anything. He had pop out, a couple of fly balls. But per his data, his splits, He's green. Look at this. Super green at home. Super green at night. Oops. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Come on. Mouse. Laptop. Super green on Mondays. Come on, laptop. You were working. Come on, come on. You were working. We were literally almost done with just this first ticket. We're only just about 20 minutes into the stream already. Technically 15 or whatever, because that's pretty much. There it goes. I usually don't start. I give it a few minutes just to kind of get the stream warming up. Versus lefties, he's super green, right? And batting fifth, super green. And when you really look at his OPSs, all his OPSs are above the 1.0, like the main one. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, young man has been handling business. So, I could have literally went with any of the main batters as far as like righties, like Jordan Beck, because he went yard back to back. He went yard last night again. He's hitting the fastball. He's hitting the changeup. That's about it. Even the cutter, he's hitting that. His line drive is super great, 47%. Same thing as his pull. His hard hit is great, 67%. We can look at his splits, because what I'll do is probably put him down for maybe 3 HRs on another ticket. He's batting well at home and at night. Month of August, he's batting really great. Mondays, he's struggling. No home runs, 3 2-baggers. He was walked 5 times. He struck out 9. His OPS is under, but he still bats great versus lefties. 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, 7 2-baggers, 1 triple, 967 OPS. And when he's batting fourth, though, he's struggling as far as the slug, but his average is still good enough with a 744 OPS. So it's really, up to you if you want to take. Like I said, I might still take Jordan here. His last 3 straight games, basically 4 more HRRs. So it was a missed opportunity for me yesterday to even put him down for 5. Let me log into DraftKings just to see where his 5 is sitting at. Again, he's facing off against Eric. I personally do still want to look at Toronto, because Tanner, his strikeouts are super low. Let me see. He still averages 5 innings pitched out of the 26 that he's pitched for the season, but he's not getting a lot of strikeouts like often, like consistent, right? Because I'm like waiting for Barger to kind of do something else outside of home runs, kind of waiting for him to get back to be more consistent. We look at the last 20 games, he was a bit more consistent back in the middle of July, excuse me. Let me look at Nathan Luke's here. I feel like Nathan was sort of, okay, he hasn't been doing much either. So Toronto, they're like, they're kind of struggling to really find some stuff. Bo has been the only one that's really been more consistent from what I can tell here. And let me look at Vlad. I'm just looking at HRRs in general. Yeah, Vlad a little bit. Joey, 'cause I think Joey's in the weak spot. I think we can even look at the weak spot for this game specifically, because I think they did confirm. Yeah, they confirmed both lineups. Let's look at let's see here. Where are we? Where's Toronto? Here we go. Toronto, Colorado. Because Colorado has been fun to bet on. Like, really, the team itself, the batters, like all of that. They're facing off against the lefty, and they actually are batting like they're like one of the top teams that bats really, really well against lefties. In the midst of them being, as far as like their record and everything for the season. Oh, come on, laptop. We were doing so well. Let's see. I just want to see what Jordan Beck's 5 HRs. That's why I said I'm upset. Should have put Hunter down in a straight pick last night. Yeah, so his 5 is a plus 400. So I'm only guessing that maybe his 5 HRs as of yesterday was probably a plus 500. So it was a missed opportunity on my end. But what can you do? But I need my laptop to kind of just like work. There we go. Okay, so yeah, Warming's in the weak spot. I think that was the other reason why. Now this young man, Braxton, he's in the weak spot, but he wasn't showing up on DraftKings like 4 or 5 hours ago when I was putting this ticket in. Let me look at this here and see. Okay, there he is. Because he currently only has 25 HRs currently in total so far for the year. So anytime he does get HRs, he gets 3. Like literally anytime for the most part, he gets 3. He bats really well against lefties. He's a righty. Good. He bats well against the curveball, the four seam, the sinker, which he doesn't throw that much. He just struggles against the changeup. Fly ball 75%, hard hit 75%, which is great. Recently against lefties for the seasons back in June, he had a double, single, and a triple, all within a week. He bats well at night, struggles at home though. Again, bats great against lefties, 916 OPS, and 50-50 batting 8th, where he bats the most. His OPS is low. Again, you could possibly still consider taking him for total bases, HRRs, but that's if he does anything. I want to say he's a random placed batter, but yeah, he's random. So he hasn't played since the 29th of June. So it's a random spot. I remember I mentioned this. I don't know if the kid is playing tonight for my Pirates, right? If he's on, so your boy's back in the weak spot. This young man here, I mentioned this 2 days ago. This was Saturday. I said it on stream. I said, your boy, he's a new face for me because I personally hadn't seen him batting or just playing in the game because I haven't been watching the Pirates play. Because I pay attention to all the scores and stuff. And I may every so often put one of the games on to just kind of just watch, have in the background while I'm just paying attention to stuff and maybe putting together some extra picks off to the side. So I personally haven't seen this young man play, but he was in the weak spot back on the 2nd. This was Saturday, right? Random for me, because as far as I know on Prop Finder, whenever I clicked on the Pirates, he wasn't showing up, as far as I could tell. So he was in a weak spot on Saturday on the 2nd, and I literally said he was batting first, and I said, this young man's a new face for me. Whenever these new batters pop up on screen, they're probably more than likely going to hit a home run. That's probably what's going to happen. I said I'm not going to put him on the ticket, but he's probably going to hit a home run. And what did he do first at bat? He hit a home run. But not only that, as you see, he hit 3 of them things. So back to what I'm saying. Once again, back to the Colorado game. This young man way at the bottom here, batting 8th, Braxton. He hasn't played since the 29th of June, but they randomly put him here. He's in the weak spot, right? And per the 8th, the only thing is that Eric actually, he actually pitches kind of well against the 8th spot, even though he's allowed 2 home runs and 1 2-bagger. The OPS is down, the batting average is down, and the slug is down, right? Well, technically, no, the slug is up. No, the slug is down. So, but the ISO is up, 270. That's actually great. So I personally, just saying this right now, you may want to consider putting this young man on the ticket for a home run. Again, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because he just might not do it. But I'm saying like in the back of my brain, I'm like, he's probably going to do it. But I'm saying it out loud. He might not go yard. So let me see what his value. It's a plus 630 on FanDuel. So just putting it out there, the young man might go yard tonight, and he might hit two. Just saying. Just saying. So do with that information if what you will. But at the same time, again, with the same back to the Colorado game real briefly. Again, Addison's in the weak spot. He hasn't been doing what I've been hoping for him to do, but he's in the best spot. Look at this. 1.46. 46 is my favorite number. His slug is great. Well, per the for Tanner, he struggles against the fourth spot. So, but Barger, he's still batting. I think he has the best numbers, really, to be honest. Yeah, look at that. 375 average, 6.67 slug, 1.09. I just might put Addison down. I might. Even though the hard hit is lower than versus righty versus, say, maybe Bo may go, maybe Vlad will go, Kirk may even go, Ernie may even go. We don't really know. Let me see. Just kind of wanted to just look at some things. But let me kind of just like rush here. Okay. I just wanted to just see what was what here. Okay. Tovar is back in the weak spot again. I think this might be like the third straight day that he's been in a weak spot. And he hasn't done anything. I know for sure, if I remember correctly, he was in a weak spot yesterday, and he didn't do anything. He did something on the second, though. He had 3 HRRs, only 1 hit. So, yeah, there's that. But he still had 3 HRRs, which is great. 3 HRRs, that's plus value right there. But he's struggling against the pitch mix. But the line drive is great. Look how great that is. That's beautiful. 54%, 53.8. It's just that he's just been struggling to get under the ball, at least for the month. He did better back in May. He bats well enough against lefties. And batting second, where he bats the most. It's like he's right there. It's just there's just no consistency behind his stuff. That's the only thing. Let me look. Hunter went back to back. I'm upset. Like, I missed opportunity for him. I wasn't sure about him though yesterday. That's why I didn't really like. I think I put him down. I don't know. Did I put him down on my ticket? On one ticket that I had, I can't remember. I know I'm like going way past where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to look at the first few games and stuff like that. But I just wanted to kind of just glance at this game because this game might go over the total. He actually pitches. He actually bat sort of kind of well against the pitch mix, sort of. Versus lefties, he's getting under the ball. That's what he's doing. He bats well at home and at night. He's batting really great on the month of August and on he's batting great on Mondays. He's just struggling against lefties. Well, no. His batting average is what's down, but his slug is up. 787 OPS, which is still good, and he bats great third, which he bats the most. So he's right there. So maybe Hunter would be an addition to something. Let me look at so Bo actually looks, if I remember correctly, I was looking at his stuff. I think Bo looks good. Come on, laptop. Come on. You were working. Stay working. So he gets total bases for the most part. He's been struggling a little bit more recently, but and every other game. So this could be a trend. Let's say since the 30th, last day of August, second to last day of July, he had 4 HRRs, He had 2. He didn't get. It was down. So if you're considering like maybe like 3 on the positive, so he had 3 or more on the 30th, under 3 on the first, 3 or more on the second, under 3 yesterday. So per trend, he could possibly get 3 tonight. Look, I'm like behind on a lot of stuff here. First game starts in probably like a few minutes. Yeah, like first 4 games start soon. That's what I'm saying. My laptop just kind of like bugged on me a lot, and I'm missing out possibly on some extra possible wins here because these first few games are about to start in like 5 minutes. So, yeah, Bo looks great. So I just wanted to look at that real quick. Okay. So Stowers for sure. Nick Castellanos for sure. So we kind of got a little bit of stuff for the first couple of games here. Soto for sure. Let me look at this. So only 1 weak spot. Zach is in the weak spot. He's in the best spot too. That's the thing. But that's the thing. Travis only pitched against that 7 spot 1 time. He struggles against righties. Even though the hard hitting stuff is better pitching against lefties though. I'm curious, should I take? But that's the thing. Zach has, and he pitches well against lefties. So Zach, I don't know. Zach's been struggling. He bats well at home, struggles at night. He's struggling in August. He has no hits in August so far. Struggling on Mondays. 50-50 versus righties. He's struggling as far as his average, batting 7th. Okay. That's the only thing per his splits. I'm like, I don't know. I'm staying away. I'm staying away from Green, like for real. I'm just not gonna, because look at this. There's no consistency with him. There's like none. Let me see. Colt did his thing. He was in a weak spot that day, I think, on the second, if I remember correctly. He went yard that game. I was like, dag, I really should have put him down, and I didn't. He's batting great on Mondays versus righties and batting first. So that's that info. Torres. He's been batting great. Look at this. More recently. At least for what he's done whenever he does actually get some hits. Whenever he does get hits, he's doing this thing. We can say that at least. Line drive is great, 53%, just shy of 54. Batting great on in the month. Batting good enough on Mondays. Decent enough versus righties. Good enough batting second. So there's that info. Carpenter. He bats well against righties. Actually bats great against righties. Fly balls super high. Hard hit 60%, 67% pull. He bats great at home, great at night. His average is the only thing that's down off of this one hit, but it's only due because he hit a home run. He's batting great on Mondays. He's batting great on versus righties, and he bats really great batting third, where he bats the most. So he's a look for, say, maybe 3 HRRs. So I would probably take him for 3 HRRs. Yeah, let's. Let me kind of rush this real quick. Carpenter for 3 HRs is 1 plus 125. So Casey Mize allows hits. He sort of kind of gets some strikeouts. He's still pitching well against the pin. Um, so if I personally had to pick another batter, well, he's been getting singles and stuff, triples and stuff like that. I would personally, I think I'm gonna put Winslow down. Winslow is a plus 185. Colt is a plus 150. I'll go Winslow for the plus 185. He actually looks good. Just do the 2-leg real quick. It's a plus 425. That'll be my first ticket for a game. Like an actual like pick. Okay, so that's that one. I don't think I have any more time to, outside of the Philly game, I might. Tyler, he's in the weak spot. What's the spot here for that one? 5th. It's actually the best spot. Look at Tyler here. He hasn't done anything in 3 straight games. He bats well against lefties. He's hitting the changeup. That's about it. Line drive is great. He hits lefties. He's struggling at night, though. He has no hits in August. He bats great on Mondays. Struggling versus lefties as far as the batting average is concerned. And batting 50s, 50-50. So 50-50 versus lefty, 50-50 versus batting 5th. Okay. Look at Jackson. Now he struggles against lefties. So then I'm not going to do that. Maybe Westberg. He gets HRRs. He has the four seam and the slider. Struggling against the changeup. Line drive is down. Let's see. Let's see. He's batting well at night. No. He's batting well away. 50-50 at night. 50-50, but struggling in August. 50-50 struggling as far as a slug, at least. His batting average is great on Mondays. Lefties, green, second place. Batting second, green. Could still be a look, maybe. Gunner, lefty. He's struggling against lefties. Like my homies, we struggle against lefty. That's the thing. That's the only thing. Which is why. But again, last month we batted well against lefty. That's the only thing. It was last month though. Like I don't think I'll have enough time to put another pick in for. I don't think I'll have enough time. Oh, he's struggling against lefties more recently. He's been sort of kind of hitting the ball a little bit, but not that much. 1 hit in the month of August so far out of 13 at-bats. Man. So who knows what he's going to do. Okay. That's all I got. All right. 7 o'clock games. Excuse me. We have some more weak spots here. So here's the thing. When it's pertaining to slate, I usually definitely take the opposite team to get hits off of him. This is why I have them down, have the Mets down to get 5 runs tonight. That's one of the things that I notice about specifically for him. He, granted, he doesn't allow a lot of earned runs, but when he's pitching, though, on top of whatever the bullpen does, teams still end up scoring some runs, even if it's like between 4 and 6, whenever the Guardians, whenever he's specifically pitching. When he's pitching, I've noticed that the opposite team scores like between 4 to 6 runs against the Guardians when Slade is pitching. So that's why I put them down on my ticket, my 3-leg ticket for the Mets to score some runs. So that also means that's the other reason why I took Soto to get 3 HRRs tonight, because I feel like he'll be able to get under Slade's pitches, read the pitches, and do his thing. So hopefully he'll be able to read a fastball or a changeup, maybe even a slider or something, or a cutter, which he throws a lot of that stuff, and he'll hopefully read that and maybe even hit a home run or something tonight. Maybe. We're just in general, hit some line drives, get on base a few times, type of thing. Maybe he'll get 3 hits tonight or something. I don't know. But per his numbers, he's like mostly 50-50, except for batting against righties, which is his best split. So like I said earlier, work kicked my butt today. This is literally just the first day. My body was reacting in a specific way, like, muscle soreness and legs sore and all of that. So I'm like, I know that if I lay down like right now, because I'm yawning so much, I'm probably gonna fall asleep, and I'm not trying to do that. It's one of the reasons why I'm streaming right now. I'm like, I'm awake, but I'm like super sleepy. Well, not super sleepy, but I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, I knew tonight was gonna be an early bedtime for me, probably before 8 p.m. because I was doing a lot of running around, a lot of extra helping my coworkers out, because they decided to, the job decided to add an extra load of work on, we go by zones at my job. So one of the zones, they decided to add a huge chunk of work to that specific zone, which again is only run by one person. And it's like, dude, like, because I work in a hospital, so it's like, dude, like, there's no way that this one person can do all of this within 8 hours. Like, there's just no way. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, let me look at Guardians. Look at Sean. Now he shut down some teams. LA says he is. San Diego. He was getting some strikes. But, let's see, on the 29th, he lost some hits. 23rd, he shut some stuff down. 18th, he lost some. So it was like every other game he was allowing some. Oh, he was allowing some hits. Well, no, sorry. It was every other game, like, seemed like he was allowing some hits or something. Doing something. So, let's see. So Jose's in a weak spot. Jose went back to back. Kind of feel like he might not go back to back, but Sean, he struggles against righties. Jose can go either way. Like, literally, he can bat either way, right or left. He bats well against the pitch mix outside of the fastball, four seam. But against lefties, some singles. Well, at least the end of the month, he only had a couple of hits. Or maybe just one. More so the beginning of the month is where he was doing something a little bit. He's green away, green at night. Green in the month of August. Green. Just green all across the board. Like, boy, I feel like he should have, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how many home runs he got. I don't think it's 30. Maybe it's 20 plus. Okay, the Twins scored. Jeffers hit a home run. He wasn't even in the weak spot, I don't think. Let's look at this here. He was not. Oh. Brooks Lee is in the weak spot. So Jeffers was not in the weak spot. He basically was due this whole entire time. He only hit one home run last 20 games. So now it's the second home run. Interesting. 1 for 12 against. This is what I'm saying. I would have definitely like bypassed Jeffers. Like looking at his numbers now. I'd have just been like, nah, I'm not gonna take you. Come on, laptop, work with me. There we go. Now he's hitting the fastball. Let's see. Okay, he hit a sinker. Word. I really do. I really love Prop Finder, like how they update so fast. Which he throws that many times. And interesting enough, he struggles against the sinker, but he was able to hit it today. Let's just look at this a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so if we really looked at it, like 2 games in a row he hit a single, so that worked out per the sinker. Outside of that, though, he was struggling. So it was like just more recently, you could just basically say the last 3 days he hit the sinker. Okay, he only had one. He's been a 1 if you were deciding to just say take a few batters, maybe like 4 batters for 1 total base. Jeffers would be one of the ones that you would consider to take. Why? Because he's been getting this, so he has yet another game, but this time he actually was able to hit 2 though. Well, technically 4 total bases because he had a home run. HRR, he currently has 3. Last time he had 3 was on the 29th, basically at the end of the month. So in total he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over the last 20. So there's that info. Okay, Giants just scored. Who scored? Okay, so Dominic Smith hit a single to shallow. Did I put I think I did. No, I did not. I was considering actually putting Giants down for 5 for 5 runs today. Main reason because they were taking on Johan here, which could still happen. Look, bases are loaded, top of the first. So that literally what I just said. 5 runs could happen, probably more than likely. Maybe. Again, maybe. Could possibly happen in this inning. Possible. He's already allowed a home run already. So there's that info. Okay. Alright, KC Boston. Actually, I'm flowing much better than what I normally do. Okay, Bobby looks good. Roman looks good, I think, if I remember correctly. But I think Trevor for Boston looked the best, if I remember correctly, from what I was looking at. Let's look at Trevor here. He's hit 3 home runs the last 10. Total base machine the last few games here. HRR, same thing. He's 1-1 against Bailey. He bats well against lefties. He's just struggling against the fastball. He does hit the slider. He does hit the sinker. So there's that info. Hard hit is good. Let's see. Just re-looking at the info. Like August, he's batting great. Now he's struggling on Mondays though. He bats well enough against lefties, and he bats well enough batting fifth. Let me look at Roman here. Now he's been a HR machine, son. Most of the time he's getting 3. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was Roman. Because he's in a weak spot too. Now he's struggling at night though. Bats well on Mondays. Like really well on Mondays. Bats well at home. 50-50 versus lefties though. And he bats great batting third. So there's that info. So lefty versus lefty though. Romy. 3 home runs the last 10. Only 3 games with HRRs in the last 10. But he bats well against the pitch mix outside of the slider. He bats great at home. 50-50 at night. 50-50 in the month of August, but his slug is great. His OPS is great. Batting great on Mondays with a 1.22 OPS. And bats great versus lefties, 1.05 OPS. Bats great versus righties, 1.09 OPS. So he's like, it's the info's there. It's just, he's just been struggling to really do anything. It's like, man, like you want him to go out there and handle the job, right? Do the thing. Get the numbers, you know? Rob bats well against lefties. He hits the slider and the sinker. His line drive is great, but he just hasn't really had that much consistency. Green at home, 50-50 at night. Batting great in August. Batting great on Mondays. Batting great versus lefties. Batting great, batting fourth. So the numbers are there. Between it's him and Gonzalez that just hasn't been consistent because the numbers are there. And the only reason why the numbers are there is because of what they did back here at the beginning of July. You know, they were really handling business and they just went cold. Probably say the same thing about Rob too. Look at this here. Okay, so he was, like the first, 3 out of 4 type of thing. Then he went down. Then he kind of picked it up. So that's what I'm saying. Like Boston was doing better back in the beginning of June. July, excuse me. Now they fully just like all that momentum and stuff they lost in the midst of how they've been playing last month. So that's why their numbers are the way that they look, because they were doing what you were expecting them to do. Then it just fell off. Now he's struggling against Duran's struggling against the pitch mix. Miss of him getting some HRRs and stuff. Bats great on Mondays. Struggling versus lefties. Bats great. Batting 7th. Look at that. 6 hits and 16 at bats, batting 7th. Man, 1.37 OPS. Like, dude, like, that's what you want. You want him to get 3 HRRs. That's what you want. Barely allows some hits. He's struggling against lefties. He's not getting that many strikeouts. Like, I kind of feel like Boston should get like 5 or 6 runs tonight. But the question is, will they? Okay, Harper went. Harper hit a home run. He was in a weak spot. Didn't take him. Giants scored again. So Ramos and Devers have a run. Ramos has 2 HRRs. Smith has 2 HRRs, so that's it. That's all. And Schmidt has a RBI. Look at Salvador, because Salvi had him down on my ticket, didn't do anything. He's green versus the pitcher versus Brand. Let me see. Brand struggles more against. It's like equal footing for real. But I would probably consider righties, to be honest, because the OPS is lower than lefties. Even though the OBA is lower for lefties compared to righties. So Salvador's hitting the sinker. Non-driver's great, 40%. Versus righties. 50-50 away in at night. Has great batting again in the month of August. His batting average is down, but his slug is up. 926 OPS on Mondays. And he bats great versus righties and bats great batting fifth. So his numbers are there. So it's like, and he's been consistent. So you would definitely consider taking him. Let's look at the Salvi was a what? Salvi was a righty. Let's look at versus righties here. More so, if anything, he was allowing singles. He did allow a double. This was like the last week of July. He wasn't allowing too much. He wasn't allowing any home runs or anything. 1, 2. He allowed 2 home runs last month, but that was literally at the beginning of the month. Outside of that, he was allowing singles. He's allowing hits. He's getting strikeouts. He was at least averaging 4, even the last few days. 5 for 5 technically the last 5. So he's at least been clearing that. It's minus 144 for tonight. Vinny. Now Vinny. Oh. He did get 3 HRs last night, but he's still kind of struggling to do this consistently. Struggle on Mondays. He bats well on versus righties. 50-50 batting third. So I don't know. If anything, Boston still looks like the best spot in general. That's why I put him down. I would put him down personally for them to get maybe 4 or 5 runs tonight. Just being honest. Milwaukee has been a scoring machine. They've been winning a lot of games. They at least covered us on a couple of my ticks more recently as far as scoring runs. So you have your pick. Fetty allows hits. He allows runs. Just kind of putting it out there. He's averaging 4, 3.6 the last 10 games. More recently, higher than that, 5, 4.6. He struggles against righties, right? So William, Vaughn, probably Collins could be your go-to because 1, they're in the weak spot, and 2, let's even look at Collins. He might decide to bat to the right side of the plate instead of the left. He's averaging 2, just shy of 3 HRRs Anytime he does actually get HRs, he's averaging 4. I think that's only due because well, no, he's just been getting hits. 2 hits. Like, he's been a hitting machine. He hits the changeup, and he hits the cutter. That's what he hits. He's getting a lot of singles. Let's see. Single machine. Yep, single machine. So if you were to take him for some singles, you'd be cash. If you were taking him a straight up single, just straight up singles, what would the single be? Minus 125? Yeah. You just say you bet $10, you just throw 5 to 7 extra bucks on there to give you plus value. You've just kept doing that every day. You know what I mean? He was cash, especially here. Look at this. 4 straight days. You took all your win. You hit, take the win, put it here, hit again, win, hit again. 4 straight days. Yeah, money in your pocket. All right. He bats really well away. 50-50 at night. Batting great in the month of August. 50-50 on Mondays. Batting decent enough versus righties. His OPS is still great. 816 on versus righties, and he bats. His average is great, but his slug is down. But his OPS is great. 870 batting 5th. So still consider Collins. Andrew, 4 home runs the last 10. He's been getting total bases. He's been getting HRRs, at least 3 or more. But he's struggling against Eric's pitch mix. Versus righties, more recently, he's been struggling. He's struggling away, 50-50 at night, 50-50 on Mondays. Slug is up, though. Like, up. OPS is great. 50-50 versus righties and batting 3rd. But his OPS is still good, sitting above 700. Still, consider Vaughn. Terang went twice yesterday, randomly. He went twice, but he was in the weak spot yesterday, so that's the thing. He was sitting right there for him to possibly go yard, and he did. So he hits the cutter that he again, dude is back-to-back weak spots. He's facing off against a righty. There's a possible chance if he does read the cutter, he could possibly hit it out the park. I'm just putting it out there for you all to consider, maybe possibly taking Bryce for a back-to-back home run night. Look at his August. 11 at bats, 5 hits, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 1.63 OPS. Decent enough versus righties. OPS is above 700. He's just struggling with the slug. With a 260 average, was still good. His OPS is down, but he's getting RBIs and yeah, he's getting a lot of RBIs, getting a lot of 2-baggers. So hey, if you're not going to take him, take him maybe for total base or HRRs, maybe 2 or 3 tonight. William, he was getting total bases a few days ago. Same thing, HRRs. He has a positive against Eric. He has 2 home runs and 61 pitches thrown. He's pretty much struggling against righties. Month of August, he's batting great. .50-50 versus righties. Batting second, he bats decent enough. 775 OPS. Batting second. But versus righties, he was getting some singles, 1 or 2 doubles. He was sort of kind of handling his business. So almost every other batter per Quinn's weak spot is possibility of doing something. Oh, my O's scored 2 runs. Oh, Tyler went yard. Look at that. He was in a weak spot. He went yard. I just wasn't sure myself. That's why I didn't take him. Rushman has 2 HRRs. Man, missed opportunity. Horwitz for the Pirates, he has a run in. So he has 2 HRRs. Nick Gonzalez has a RBI. So there's that. See, Matt, he's been struggling. Now, when he's getting HRs, he's getting roughly 3 the last few games here. But he just still hasn't been consistent. He has the changeup, which doesn't get thrown that much. He can hit the fastball. He can get the slider. Line drive is great, 47%. Bats well at home and at night. Bats great on Mondays versus righties. 50-50 batting second. See, Sean was like, Casper kept picking him and he just wasn't doing anything. He's a positive against Quinn. He can hit the sinker and the cutter. 50-50 at night and at home. I know Mondays and versus righties and batting fourth, but his slug batting fourth is great. 944 OPS. No, I don't know. It might be a chance that Sean goes yard. He's due. See, Mike's getting HRRs more than anything. In the midst of his numbers. It's batting well on Mondays. Okay. He bats great batting fifth. 824 OPS. Okay. All right. Oh, that's that. I wasn't really seeing too much of anything for Atlanta, though. Then NY. So the real question is, Patrick going to let the Yankees, probably more so the lefties, get some hits off him tonight? That's a question. Okay. I would say that the end of the month he wasn't allowing too much to happen versus lefties. Let me see versus righties. He was allowing righties to hit a bit more. Let's see, at the end of the month. But again, he was just allowing hits in general. For the most part, whenever he pitched. But he was still getting strikeouts, though. But again, that's the question. Can any of the, whether they're in the weak spot or not, can any of the Yankees read his pitches? Because Seager's the only one that's in the weak spot. He went yard yesterday. I think he was in the weak spot yesterday. Last night, should I say. Because even when I looked at him, I was considering taking him for a home run and a straight up bet, and I didn't even do it. And then I woke up yesterday, this morning to see that he hit, and I was like, dang, I knew I should have taken Seager for a home run last night. He's batting great, batting second as usual. Okay. So per the spot, the best spot is fifth. And per the spot, Slater is in the spot. Just that he's just struggling. Literally, the only pitch he's reading is the slider. Well, 50-50 versus the sinker and the four seam, though. More recently, he's been getting under the ball versus the lefties. So 50-50 pretty much across the board. Oh, that's right. Because he got traded here, there's no real info as far as per the position. That's the only thing. But again, he's in the best spot. Second best would be Bellinger. But he went 2 straight games. He did something on the third, which I think it was a home run. No, just he had a couple of hits, I guess. Or just a hit. So he's batting great against the pitch mix. 60% line drive, which is great. That's where you want it to be. He's batting great at night. Struggling in the month of August with only 1 hit at 13 at bats. Decent enough batting on Mondays with a 785 OPS. Batting great versus lefties, the 1.00 OPS, and then 50-50 batting third, 765 OPS. Could possibly do something tonight, maybe. Look at Jazz. Okay, Jazz has a home run against Patrick, 38 pitches. Just not any consistency as far as HRRs. 20% live drive, good enough. $50-50 at night in a way, right? Yeah. No, he's struggling away. His slug is great on Mondays outside of his average, though. He's struggling versus lefties, but he's batting great, batting 6. 1.05 OPS. So it's a lefty versus a lefty, though. Stanton. You've just been more consistent with HRRs. You're positive against Patrick. 2 home runs, but 116 pitches thrown, and that's the only thing. Or 118, excuse me. But in the midst of all, he's still batting great against Patrick. 1 single against lefties over the last three games. He bats great on Mondays. Struggling versus lefties, though. Bats great batting 4th. Okay. 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 All right. I think I'm almost done because I'm like running on E. All right. Let's see. Cubbies. Oh, look, Austin Hayes is in a weak spot. Horner's in a weak spot. He's batting first. Let me see. What does he do? I'm just going straight to the... Okay, he struggles batting first. He bats better batting seventh. Does he, He bats great versus lefties, though. He has no home runs. Nothing like that. He's still getting HRRs, at least 2. Look at Austin here. Okay, he bats well on Mondays. And versus batting 4th. So he's in a spot that he could possibly get some HRRs. Maybe. Soroka, who doesn't allow that many hits, not that much. More often, currently, he did 3 out of the last 5, though, at least 4 or more. He struggles against righties. So Austin's, he's in a spot. Oh, Tyler's in a spot. See, he struggles against righties, though. He's been getting under the ball versus righties more recently. Last week of July. Bats well on Mondays. Struggling versus righties. But he bats well over batting 7th. So it's like a 50-50 chance. Gavin. Maybe at least 2. So he hits the fastball. And the sinker. That's not thrown that much. Oh, he's 3 hits and 4 at bats. Nice. And he bats well on Mondays. Shoot. Gavin. Pretty much Gavin and so Gavin and Lux might be in the spot to actually do something. Maybe. Alright, this is my last look, and then I'm done because I'm really getting tired. I need to like get up and do some jumping jacks or something. So if anything, Nick is pitching. Nani? Okay. I just seen that Soroka allows more home runs versus lefties, though. Yeah, if anything, I'm probably just gonna do this. Take a chance on this. Austin Hayes, Gavin Lux, 3 HRRs. Probably just take a chance on that. See if that will come through. Yeah. Not that many picks for myself. Just because I was just looking at some stuff. Kind of rushing a little bit just because my laptop put me behind. So like I said, I'm just like on low energy today. Hopefully, again, hopefully, one, I sleep really well at night. I get like 6-7 hours of sleep. I go to work tomorrow. Everybody shows up. And, you know, we're not low staff. And, you know what I mean? I'm not running around. Even though I'm kind of going to be, like I said, probably going to be assisting my coworkers again. Just in general, just because, like I said, per what we specifically came to find out per some new stuff. Oh, this is a definite. This is probably not gonna hit because Gavin Lux for 3 HRRs is a plus 290. Let me look at. Like, he doesn't even get 3 HRRs. He had back to back here. So maybe I'll do that. So I take Austin Hayes for 3 HRRs as a plus 195. And I'll take Gavin for 2 total bases. Where he's a plus 210. We'll do that for a pick. Plus 581. We will do that. Let's see if that will cash tonight. All right, I'm out. I'm done. I'm hopefully not gonna fall asleep. But at least for maybe hopefully another hour. I at least want to go to sleep by 8:30, not before 8. But we'll see. But I'm out. I'll let y'all later. Stay safe. Stay humble. And I'll hope to chat with y'all on the stream for Dinger Tuesday tomorrow. Peace, guys.